family, what's up? It's Mo Hart here. What's the tea, honeybee? What we got cooking today?
Drag Voltron with Mo Hart.
Chris Rock's Selective Outrage.
And a trip to the Eagle.
So get your cups ready for Minoritea Report. Hey, welcome to Minoritea Report. It's Auntie Carell.
It's Auntie Duan.
Ooh, and we got a special hidden guest right now getting this light situation together. Because Auntie Jarrell is on, I guess she's on hiatus right now. Shit.
She is working. She's working.
Working. I know.
Yes, she's
working. Her working hard. So we got a special guest this week, and we'll see when she hop on in.
Yeah.
Oh, is that the introduction?
Oh, that's the introduction.
Oh, okay, lovely.
Ta-da! There she is.
Mo is back in the house.
The beauty, the face, the body.
That part. The trade with his beard. That's what it is. Now, got the arms up. I want muscles.
Ooh. That's what I listen to when I work out, okay?
We got Miss Mo Hart in the building. How you doing, boo? It's been a minute since you've been on.
It has been a minute. I'm doing good. I'm very happy to be back. Just, ready to get into some things. We have some things to talk about. I am ready to get into those. That is true. So.
But before we get into those things, we want to see what's new with you because she over here got that. The Amazon was the Mo Closet. Hold on, no, I want to get the title right. Let me get it right because I wrote it down. The Walk-In with Mo Hart. Let's get that all the way together on Amazon. If y'all haven't watched that, I love that show. If I were to ever do a show, it would be similar to that because I love just the whole closet piece. It'd probably be maybe more geared to like maybe what's on your iPod. I guess the kids don't have iPods no more, but what's on your playlist or something. Showing my age. I done turned 39 yesterday and done show my age.
Last week you were talking about the commode. Now you're talking about the iPod.
Girl, going through it.
Do you remember the Nano?
I do remember the Nano. I had the old school like thick one that like
with the dial,
not like the
radio dial,
but the second one was the first video one.
Yeah.
And I remember they launched it with Rihanna's SOS. So I had the SOS music video on it, and you hear just put it up to your face like this because you couldn't see shit on it. But I thought you couldn't tell me nothing. I thought that was the future.
It was everything. It was so good. Woo. Oh my God.
And then actually I had it all the way until I moved here to Philly, and someone broke into my car and stole my iPod, girl.
Wow.
What you want to do with a crunchy ass old iPod?
That was like the golden age of like electronics because like every single kind of company, Samsung, Apple, Kyocera, like everybody was coming out. Everybody was coming out with like different versions of MP3 players in some way, shape, or form.
That is true. Those word it is. But also you have Mo Talk. You got your radio show. She was hosting the Grammys red carpet. I saw that too. I was like, come on, boo. Come on, boo. That's my boo out there doing the damn thing. Come on now. What else? Got the Mo Beauty.
Yes. We are, look, here you go. I believe if you have the opportunity to get on RuPaul's Drag Race and then to maximize your moment, you should do that. So I'm just trying to, be wise and put my hands in different streams and just try to pray that the fruit of my labor is blessed. But yeah, to have season 4 of The Walk-In, I actually fly out Monday to go film an episode in New Orleans.
Ooh, okay. Ooh, is that a clue? Is that a hint?
Maybe. But so we fly out to go meet with someone there. So season 4 of that is just really, really cool. Because of that, I got to host at the Grammys red carpet. And, the only people that are allowed on the red carpet are the nominees or the interviewers. So to be up there and to have that moment, I was like, wow, Holy Spirit. But it's such a gag, when you watch it on television and then you're there, you're like, oh, this is nothing of what I thought. It's like a bunch of step and repeats with the Grammy logo and you just stand in front of it. I was like,
that's what they doing.
It was cute. It was great. You know, the goal was accomplished to have hair in a garment that stopped attention. So our booth was six booths in from the entrance. So no matter where you looked, you were going to see me. Okay.
You was gonna see me.
Right. Okay. So it would just be funny when you would catch different people looking, and they would just be like, the hair, you know what I mean? And you'd be like, oh my God, or they're just walking up
like,
taking photos. You see it.
Was there someone that you saw that you were like, oh, I'm gagged right now? Because I'm sure like over time you see a lot of people. So after a point, it might maybe the thrill of it kind of wears off. Maybe you're just like, okay, these are people. But was there someone that you saw, you're like, ooh, that's so and so though?
There were a few. Okay, so we didn't get to speak to Carter because she was a little late, so they were pushing people out of the way to get her through. She was just like gliding in that little blue outfit.
She looked stunning, by the way.
She really did. I would say seeing Jasmine Sullivan like this close, a Philly native, you know, shout out to Philly. Yeah. I mean, I damn near fell out. I was like, oh my God.
You had to pick up your feet.
I love you, girl. And she was like, thank you so much, baby. And then she kept going, and I was like, just give me one riff. Just one. Just one.
That's
please.
It. That's
just
it.
One. There was Coco Jones, who I got to kiki with, who was like, she gives you your little sister growing up. You know what I mean? It was just so...
I love her skin tone so much. Like, it's stunning. Her skin tone is everything.
She had the thigh meat out, baby. She had her thighs out. I said, woo, you got your thighs. But I would say the one who probably... Okay, here you go. There were like 3 different times that I code switched. I really don't like it. I think it's gross. But I did it. It was with Nelly, Fat Joe, and a rapper named Fabio something.
Okay.
And they would come up and I'd be like, yeah, what's up, man? You good?
Yeah, what's up?
Right here. And I'm like, what am I doing?
Meanwhile, her hair's like up to the gods. The gown is down the flow.
What am I doing? I was just
she
like,
said, get you a host who knows how to do both.
Okay. I just didn't want them to feel uncomfortable, you know, and I was just like, you know, chill. But I look at the photos and I'm like this. Baby, this is the 90s. What is this? Ow.
That's how you know.
What is this? Too much. Lucky Day is my husband in my mind. I'm not trying to be, I can't, let me say this. He was not flirting with me, but in my head, he was flirting with me. Let me say it that way, because you know. Okay, because.
I received that.
It was just, I don't know, he has that New Orleans flavor, so I was just like, baby, just talk to me. He was just like, girl.
That's another one. Just say one line. Just sing one line to me right quick. Right here in my ear. Right here.
Right. But there was a gospel artist named Ty Trebet who came over, and he was like, hey, I'm nominated for 2 Grammys. I'm just trying to talk about that.
The victory. Was he going down
Girl,
was he going down the line extra hype? That's one dude like I think would be hype 24/7. Or was he like actually calm and collected?
He was here you go. He looked like one of the deacons. You know how the deacons are always chill, cool, calm, and collected. You know what I mean? Just like real quiet. You know, they just gonna stand there and, you know, let you put the money in the basket, and then they're gonna collect it and take it. Just real smooth. So he was smooth. Okay. But, you know, now here you go. I don't know how gospel artists work nowadays, whatever, but I guess from what I saw, a lot of people weren't trying to feature. And my point person at the Grammys, she was like, we don't do gospel music. And I was like, please let me talk to him. Please let me talk to him.
Don't do gospel music. Oh, my.
Gatekeeping. Still in full effect.
Yes,
you didn't have to say it. I said it. So
right. We said it for you.
Okay, what's the
damn? They say you can't do gospel. You like so you can't even do like a Kiara Sheard or somebody, like even someone that's like younger and quote unquote.
No, you have to do like Snoop Dogg version of gospel.
Oh no!
You know,
gotta get like Lecrae.
No, gospel music. Here you go. You can do gospel music that sounds like Lizzo with a church beat. You know what I mean? Like white people need.
It's about God's time.
Yeah. break down. Go Tanner.
Right.
Go Tanner. Right, very that. But he came over, and I was just like, I grew up listening to your music. It was such an inspiration to me. Like, I'm very, very, like, honored to be in this moment with you. He was like, oh, like, thank you so much. And he really gave me, like, a really, like, great hug and then, like, a firm handshake or whatever, and just kind of held my hand. He was like, thank you. And then I got to interview him, and I was like, Legendary Children, like, baby. I said, I used to listen to his music when I prayed the gay away. And he said, not prayed the gay away. I said, it didn't work, but we are here. And he just lived and just was kind of in the moment. And it really blessed me because one, straight black men that are in church generally aren't warm, welcoming, and receiving. But it was really, really great. So I'm going to message him and be like, look, I want to come up with a song because he wrote Cry Me a River for Justin Timberlake, which went platinum. So, baby, you can write one for that queen. You can write one for this one.
Amen.
That part.
No, that's right. Well, I'm proud of you from afar. Obviously, I mean, we have your number and stuff like that. But like I want to put it out there publicly. Watching the moves you're making right now is incredible, and I'm so here for it. I support you 1,000%. I know the rest of the aunties do too, but I just wanted to speak for myself solely because it's cool. It's just cool to see people that, you're like, fuck yeah, like they doing the damn thing. I love it.
It also just goes to show that there is more room at that table than we ever thought possible. Like, you grow up thinking like there's only a certain number of seats. There's like 12 seats at the table. And if you're not at the table, then, you just get into scraps. But the reality of it is that there is more room and more space at the table for everyone. And it's a matter of, like having the talent, having the acumen, having the skills, and being at the right place at the right time and being ready. And honey, you are ready. And you're doing it. I'm proud of you, boo.
Thank you.
Oh.
Now I'm also mad at you too because I've been trying to meet up with you for like
every time he does. I am either never in town,
right,
or like he was like, I'm in LA, and I was like, I'm in Palm Springs, and then he was like, I'm in Palm Springs, and I was like, I moved back to LA.
I think you even came to New York once, and then I was gone or something like that.
Gone.
I'm mad about that.
We play tag just all the time. Tag. Actually, wait a minute. Am I going to be in New York anytime soon? I think maybe. No, I'm not. I'm lying. That's Atlanta, not New York. I knew it was the East Coast. But
I'll be in San Francisco this next week.
Oh, what's out there? The weather is, not.
Work.
The weather's mudsliding right now.
Okay, that's what I was like. Why are you going out there? That's hard. Not cute.
Oh man. Well, quick question on this kind of music tip: are y'all watching the Dewan, specifically you, because you love you some good reality TV? Are you watching that SWV and Escape show?
Am I watching it, or am I going to watch it?
Both.
No.
Damn. Are you going to watch it?
I didn't know what it was. What's the tea? Tell me.
So, it is good. I watched the first episode just came out last week or 2 weeks ago, I guess, at the time of this dropping. It's showing. So you remember the verses between SWV and Escape during the pandemic days. So it got so much hype. They're like, okay, let's do a tour together. So the cameras filmed them meeting to try to do a tour and a show together. And you just see all the drama that ensues. You just see the 90s diva drama, and it's fucking everything.
The only thing that got me kind of interested to kind of watch it was the clip that they showed about who's going to get top billing.
Ooh.
And
that ain't even the whole tea. It's the tea of the two sisters in Escape fighting.
But they always fighting though.
See, that's the reason why I don't want to watch, because this is just drudging up old.
No, and they got the mom. You see the family dynamic now because the mama there, the kids, the nieces, it's crazy.
Did you see how the one sister was in a different color dress at the BET Awards, and then the rest of them look like backup singers? I said.
It's everything. It's everything.
But the truth is that Coco can sing them all under the bus.
That's a word.
Down.
That's a whole last word.
Down.
Period.
Down.
Coco sounds like the record. Like a lot of people don't sound like they record when you see them live. Coco's like, nope, I sound like the record. No, it's good. And I normally am not the one to kind of see these shows, but I was watching it. I was
it's the perfect intersection of your. It's the perfect intersection of your lane, like Black women and music.
Like, I live.
Period.
That's it.
Is it on Bravo? You said
it's on Bravo. Yeah. So Candy was like, okay, come on.
Okay, because I was like, she has to be getting a cut from this check somewhere.
Of course.
Okay.
Candy's business acumen is like top tier.
She will always have a check, okay?
Always.
That's full. Honestly, that's the person who needs to be doing like these. You know how like everybody has their own like seminars about how
masterclass,
right? Like that's somebody who needs to have a masterclass because that's somebody who, like not everything has to be on a big scale, but she operates on the big scale and the small scale. Like she's had 2 Broadway shows that she's produced. Like she's produced, she had a hand in writing and da-da-da-da. Like she's doing a lot of things in Atlanta. She's booked and busy.
And she's the one that wrote No Scrubs, so she's still getting them No Scrubs checks. Like this girl gonna stay, honey. A word. Digital TV screen. I mean, come on now. Yeah, no, it's good. It's like I was sitting there. I was like, "Oh, I can't wait to talk to Dewan about this show because this might be right up his alley."
I don't know. I kind of put it out of my mind because I'm just like, like, do I want to see some old historic drama? Like, y'all in y'all 50s. Damn. Like,
that's the same.
We really got to go there.
That part.
Like they said, yup.
So watch episode 2 and let me know if intensity, because they try to get you in with the first episode and they throw all the drama in the first episode and the rest of it is just kind of like,
I think the way they had that cliffhanger at the end of the first episode is gonna be some good stuff this season. Okay, because it ended like in the middle of the fight. I was like,
next week we'll do a loop-de-loop back on this conversation. I'll try to catch up then.
And you spoke of the intersection of Black women in music. Shout out to Black women for International Women's Day today, the day we're recording. So I know there's some strong Black women in our lives, but we just need to put that on record. Thank you. Thank you to my mom, my sisters, my aunties, my friends. Shout out to y'all because y'all do the damn thing. So Black Queens matter. I know that's right. If you're watching this on the YouTube, on the interwebs, if you will. Oh, man. Another crazy thing that's going on this week, and I haven't watched it, is that Chris Rock stand-up.
It's good.
Is it good?
It's good, but if you're going to talk about that one, you have to talk about the Damon Wayne one, because that one, baby, he was foaming at the mouth. Ooh. Literally foaming at the mouth. Marlon.
Okay, Marlon. Okay. Marlon has aged well. He wasn't that cute.
He really has.
So
sexy. Oh, yeah.
He has aged well.
So
they had him. I remember when In Living Color is out and he was just starting to get out. They had him playing every ugly brother. They had him playing Shabba Ranks and every broke down, like, because Sean was supposed to be the smooth operator. He was supposed to be the cat. And not anymore.
No, it has been Marlon. Oh yeah, baby. Once he cut them, like his hair, I feel like his eyeballs went from being far apart to like being right here where they're supposed to be. He is so sexy. He had that one movie where he was like naked. I think he was a crackhead or something, and he had a sex scene, and they showed like this much of his wiener. Ooh,
I missed that movie.
It was back in the day. I don't know. Google it, girl.
That might have been them HBO VCR days.
Probably, girl. Okay. Early.
Right before Real Sex 17. But so the Chris Rock stand-up is good, though. Like, because I've been hearing...
Not according to Taj Jackson.
Who's that?
Wait, where did Taj Jackson come into this?
Because apparently the tea is that there was this false equivalency that Chris Rock had made between R. Kelly and Michael Jackson.
It really isn't false. Like, this is what he said. What he said was...
Go ahead, Mo.
The
go on with that.
crime is the same, and we listen to one person's music. We'll listen to Michael's music, but we won't listen to R. Kelly's music because Michael music is better, but the crime is the same.
Ooh, damn.
Now, did Michael have a brothel of like young boys and girls? No, he was just only allegedly messing with them three, Webster and Macaulay Culkin. So,
and never convicted.
Never convicted.
And never copped to doing anything remotely to what people were accusing him of.
Yeah.
So therein lies
Lataj
the
is in his feelings that he said Michael's name. He said, "Keep Michael's name out your mouth," and went up and tried to slap him. Okay, yep. Got it. So it's more Will Smith syndrome.
I think he handled it, the whole situation, better. I think he explained the whole, like, he wasn't mad at me. He was mad at his own wife for having an entanglement type of tea. But then when he did the whole, like, mic drop, my mama told me not to fight in front of white people, I was just like, you know what? Boom. And then he dropped the mic and walked off. But Damon Wayans, that one, Damon gave here you go. In America, I'm not saying this is what it's said, right? You have black people and then you have the nigga experience, right? Damon gave more so of the experience. Like, ain't no way in the world you gonna have me at my job in front of all these people and hit me and then stay for the rest of the program and think, nah, every commercial break, I'm not gonna try to take your head off. And so he just kept running across the stage and it was priceless. But then he also talked about like how Will Smith has been, quote unquote, that exceptional Negro to hold that like place in high prestigious regard. Like he was saying how the industry used to only put one black person and generally was Will Smith. He said like Will Smith was the first black man to save the world. And when he said that, I was just like,
Independence Day, baby.
Right! I was just like...
With Vivica Fox 1.0.
See?
I
will never forget that time she swung around the pole.
Not on International Women's Day.
Not you're right. My bad. Wrong day.
We can dog all the brothers. You got to keep her name out your motherfucking mouth.
You right. My bad. You're right. Wrong day, Carell. Wrong day.
And we won't be bringing up Sierra today either.
What's wrong with her? We like her.
Nothing. We won't be bringing her up. We will not be bringing her up.
Honey. Okay, so I need to watch both of them then. Because I do like Marlon Wayans. And I haven't seen any of his stand-ups in a long time. Probably since like
really
20
good.
years ago. Okay.
It was really good. Like he gave so much background because like he's been in the industry for 20, 30, forever, 40 years. Yeah. So like he went back to, I think it starts off, and I think he starts off talking about like how God loves him, how he's been blessed to have such a, a fabulous career. And then he talks about the Chris Rock thing early on, if I'm not mistaken. I was making a wig. And he says like how Chris Rock, he was trying to flirt with some girl when he was on In Living Color. And Chris Rock was like, bitch, you ain't nobody. What you know what to do with pussy type of thing. And just used to like roast him and heckle him all the time. And then he said like, Chris Rock came to one of his shows and heckled him for like the first 10 minutes of his set. And he was like, how bad he felt, he wanted to fight him, all this other stuff, but how that made his comedy better. And none of his own brothers did that. So it was all of this beauty about like how all of this stuff was because Damon prayed God get Chris Rock. So he was saying like God waited and waited. Yeah. Like every time Chris Rock was like fucking with Damon in some weird sense of the sort, like God like waited for this one day to hit karma and then wham, bam, got him. It was like It was so good. Personally, I think Damon's might have been a little bit better than Chris Rock because I think we were waiting for Chris Rock to like go in. He spent time talking about how wealthy his kids are, what life has been. Bitch, get to the bullshit. We
was like,
the fuckery.
We here for one and one reason only.
That part, okay? So yeah.
And I haven't watched yet, but I will say, like, for folks saying that he's just out there complaining about the situation. Here's the thing: he got slapped on national TV. I don't care if it took me 20 years to get my point of view out there. I'ma still get my point of view out there if it looks like I'm complaining, bitching. Nonetheless, you slap me in front of America. I'ma come back on America and say what the fuck I need to say, even if it comes across whatever way you don't like to be. And people are saying the T is he filmed this live thing in Baltimore to get back at Jada. I was like, dang, in Baltimore.
He did roast her for a little bit.
My thing is,
but it looked like it was at the Apollo Theater. I don't know, but to me, it looked like it was the Apollo Theater just from the side. But maybe that's all theaters. Who knows?
Let me look it up while what you got, Dewan. What you
My thing is, Chris deserved to get slapped in front of white people in all America. He's been deserved to get slapped for the longest time because he talks so much goddamn shit and he thinks that he's untouchable, and he ain't that funny. I said it.
I would give you that.
Like, it'd be a different story.
It was funny in the 90s, at least.
Because he was a crackhead in the 90s. He was like the same. Well, yeah.
It was funny.
Yeah.
But I feel like it was self-deprecating in the 90s. His comedy was was about him. It wasn't about other people. But like it, and I'm not like a huge Chris follower, like Chris fan or follower or whatever. So I haven't seen all of his specials and whatnot, but I've seen enough to know that he talks so much shit about other people. And I'm just like, if you don't get your pretzel twist fingers off the goddamn stage with your non-joke having ass, like, yes, keep my wife's name out your motherfucking mouth, bitch. Like, you're not even funny. It'd be a different story. We all been, growing up in high school or, whatever, you got kids in your class that just be cracking jokes and it's like they cracking jokes and bullying you, but you got to laugh because that shit is funny, even though it hurt your soul.
Right.
He ain't got that skill.
Oh, damn.
Right.
He don't.
Right.
Tell me I'm wrong.
I would give you that. I mean,
I liked Chris Rock in the 90s. His stand-ups in the 90s were fucking hilarious.
That's fine.
But you do have a point where it was more self-deprecating at that point. But here it is, another thing. I'm still for any black person getting $40 million off of Netflix. Good job, Chris Rock.
Go for that. And y'all see that Monique has a special coming out too on Netflix. On Netflix. Yes. I'm selling.
How do y'all feel about her playing in The Reading?
Okay. I want to go. I want to see
it. To come back together. It was the side.
On both sides. It was like, oh Lord. Here we go.
Go ahead, Dewan. What you thinking, boo?
I think the movie looks like trash, but I actually want to see it because I'm just keeping it real. I think the movie looks like trash. The storyline is bogus. The acting looks horrible, but I think Monique's role, because I think Monique is one of those really special people that you put her in front of a camera, she's going to captivate in everything.
I agree with that.
Say what you want. You too, boo.
Well, I mean, that's where my namesake comes from, so that's why I did that. But no, very true.
And what's so interesting about this whole thing, and even if we go back to like previous episodes when we talked about the Monique, scenario, her downfall and all that, I was like very much a supporter of her and telling her story. Now I'm not in those conversations, so I don't know what the truth is, but I also find it hard to believe that somebody, let me take a step back. I don't find it believe that somebody can be difficult, but I also believe that Black women specifically have had particularly darker skinned Black women have a hard time being believed. And especially if they have a strong personality and self-confidence and self-assuredness to know what they will stand for. Let me use phrase, principled, to know what they will stand for and what they will not stand for. And Monique has always struck me as that kind of a chick. And so I've always held a piece of my like judgment about like what's been going on, because it never felt to me like she was the type of chick that would be destructive like that, knowing what's the potential of, exactly. And so I love to see the fact that she's now getting opportunities. She's, you know, coming back on Netflix. I want to support her in that kind of way. Period. Point.
I like seeing people reconcile because it's a Lee Daniels movie.
Yeah.
So for her to
which
team
is
back up with
the
Lee
most
Daniels,
funny whole
situation. Exactly. Like that's the whole tea of the whole situation.
Right.
That it took Lee Daniels for her to be able to get back in the good graces of movies again.
Yeah.
And I hope because she is a talent. So I hope this is just the re-beginning for her to kind of just show the world how talented she is. But I want to know those conversations. What were those conversations between Monique and Lee? Because they were both like throwing daggers at each other.
They were.
So it's like, who got them back in that room together to be like, okay, let's settle our differences because it's not enough of us out here to be mad at each other. Let's be mad at them.
Yeah.
Not each other.
I want to know how much she got paid.
Said some hurtful shit, like which I'm sure
that part. No.
I said I want to know how much she got paid.
That part too.
Yeah.
Okay, because it was all of this, you know. Here you go. The movie is giving me very early 2000s BET Plus film movie.
That part.
You know, it's not giving me like
it's not precious.
The new. Here you go. It looks on that same level of like film quality, but like if you look at a BET Christmas special, the quality is so much better. Than this is giving me like early Lifetime tease, like you can probably see the boom. Yeah, like it slightly could have been bootleg. Like there was a weird tint filter to it. But Monique acted her ass off.
It was the Monique Holiday Heart movie.
I'm done.
But yes, because that movie was very dark.
No, that's what Precious was.
But she, like, it's a horror film. You didn't see it going the way it went. But she acts. I'm really happy for her as well. I just found it so, like, the very hand that you bit, you had to come and, like, almost. Here you go. And maybe it's not even the whole thing of, like, you had to humble yourself and come back, because I don't believe it was that type of tea. I believe it was, like, I think you'll be amazing for this. I fucked up and said some shit.
Yeah,
I'm probably never going to go openly in public, and bills are due.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
a whole word.
Good money management is one thing, but like
I hear that.
The bills gonna still keep coming.
Yeah.
And she got kids. You know what I mean? Like, no.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Monique is a true talent. She is a true. You can put her. I want to see her have her own TV show. I want to see her back on the game show circuit, because she was amazing. Put her on Family Feud again.
Bring the
Countess is not doing
4 generations of the Parkers.
Honey, that'd be fire.
I would watch that. No tea. I would actually watch that. That would be hilarious. Professor Ogilvy.
You almost look like Professor Ogilvy.
Oh, me? I'll take it. I'll take people running after me.
I'm here for it. Mm-hmm.
Well, and speaking of BET, real quick, we didn't have this on the list, but you hear Tyler Perry's in talks to buy BET because Paramount wants to sell BET out, BET off. So Tyler Perry's in.
That would be
dope. Just had the conversation earlier today, if not yesterday. Literally had the conversation with someone, and I said, Tyler Perry makes his own like productions or whatever, but until he gets into the, oh my God, literally, I just said, but until you get into the place where you are now the streaming service, you are the network, the this, that, and the third, you still have to give your stuff to another network to put out there, so you're still not the final boss in a sense, you know. I literally, that is
I mean,
so
look at
crazy.
Oprah.
Exactly. And baby, do y'all watch Green Mile or Greenleaf?
I don't.
Yeah.
I heard it's good though.
Yeah, it's really good. It's really good.
That's what I heard.
Captivating.
Oof, the drama.
Ooh. Okay. But no, I'm here for it. And move all that to Atlanta. Just build Atlanta to be the blackest black thing on earth.
Because just build some more highways. Build some more highways.
Oh, that's
the traffic is
build them build them in white neighborhoods. Do to them what they did to us.
Yes.
knock down them buildings and cut them neighborhoods in half.
That's a word. Like I miss Atlanta a lot, but yes, I don't miss the traffic. I don't miss it at all. But community, before we get to Ask Your Aunties, we actually have a community bulletin board because clearly last week's Ask Your Aunties struck a chord. So
really?
It seems to be.
Okay.
And if y'all don't remember, if you haven't listened to last week's episode, the Ask Your Aunties episode was talking about who pays in gay dating or queer culture, the top or the bottom. And so at first, we'll go with Smithy because Smithy just be very succinct with his wording. He said, "Child, Chardonnay is right. Fuck those games. The bottom ain't the prize. You getting this D. We splitting that bill unless it's your birthday. A hole is a hole. Ha."
Wait, is this the first date?
The first date. So, or it could be any date. I guess they didn't specify if it was the first date.
It's not like you're in a relationship, but it's like if you're dating, which role should pay for the meal?
And I generally tend to pay the bill because I hate that whole awkward transition of like, are you gonna get it? Am I gonna get it? So bitch, I just take care of it. Like I am the boss. But I hate it because I be like, baby, I want to be the damsel in distress. I want to be the lady.
Yes.
I'll take you out. I'll take you out for dinner. I'll treat you to dinner.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And you can order whatever you want, boo.
Okay, at the French restaurant.
We'll go to the French restaurant.
That's so funny. Corey said that last night.
You can have a bouillabaisse. You can have a bouillabaisse, yes.
Ooh, okay. Ooh. And then Corey goes, "Don't even look at the dollar price, boo. You can have whatever you like." I'm like, girl, we married now. This shit coming out somehow. It'll probably still come out my pocket somehow.
He told you. Don't look at the bill, boo.
Don't worry about the bill, boo.
This is a joint account.
It's like, girl. And then so another community member said, hey, aunties, a few things about this Ask Your Aunties. One, just because you bottom doesn't mean you get free meals. This notion feels vaguely like leftover toxic masculinity, heteronormativity within our community. I agree with Carell. Whoever extends the invite should be prepared to pay for the dinner. However, personally, I'm always prepared to split if I am not the one initiating the date. Two, hold on, because it went on. I had to do two screenshots. Hold on. Two, I've been listening to Dan Savage's podcast for years, and he talks about this concept of fuck first, where you have sex before doing anything else planned for the date. So that was our conclusion. We're like, hold on, we need to do this shit in reverse so you can just enjoy the meal.
So, hold on. So my perspective was, if the intention is that this is a prelude to having sex, why the fuck are we going out to dinner?
Like, why are we going to dinner first?
That don't make no damn sense to me. So if all we're doing is we're just having an interlude and you having a little couple of pieces of lettuce and I'm having a whole ass meal because at the end of the day you're trying to save room in your
bowels.
Like we doing this backwards. Let's go fuck. Take a shower, then we go out to eat and eat whatever the fuck we want.
Enjoy ourselves.
Why do you say guts? I'm so done.
Here at Nickelodeon guts. Let's see here. It says, while it probably helps within the hetero community more than ours, it's, in my opinion, a good concept to keep in mind and follow. This takes most of the edge off the date because the expectation of sex has been handled. Also, it allows you to eat whatever you want, and maybe y'all get in round 2 or 3. This takes some careful consideration and tact of user, as you can't do this with everyone. This isn't something you do with a random hookup you just started chatting with on Grindr, or maybe you can. But if the connection for something more than just a hookup is there, maybe this is a good thing to try out. And then he said, finally, 3.
Goodness,
for bottoms out there, it takes much longer than 2 to 3 hours for your food to be digested if there aren't any other issues. Eat that burger, girl. You'll be okay. So
I do agree. If you eat right on a regular basis and you know your body, you should be able to go. The problem is you be eating what you want and your booty hole is loose from the jump.
Oh.
Explosive.
How you gonna be mad at my word choice? She up here talking Susia. She's talking Susia over here.
You know, when they paint you, it is a horrible situation. It's natural, but it's scary at the same time.
Yeah. And on that note, community, we're going to take a quick little tea break. We interrupt this episode for very important information.
That's right. You've been asking for it for a long time, and we have heard you.
Yep, it's been a long time coming, but it's finally here.
Yo,
Aunteas
got merch! Hey, that's right. You know what? We got tees, we got long tees, we got sweatshirts, we got fanny packs, there's just a whole gamut of stuff out there. So go and check that out.
We are so appreciative of your love and support, and we are so excited to launch it. Girl, where can we find us at?
Ma'am, they can head right over to MinorityReport.com to check out the selection.
That's right. That's MINORITEA report.com.
Woo! I'm about to go get me some myself. All righty, ladies. Now here's this week's Ask Your Aunties. What time is it?
Ask your auntie. All right, so I gave our guest of honor the choice of sex or drugs, and she chose sex. So here we go. Okay, aunties, I had sex with somebody I probably should not have had sex with. Specifically, I had sex with the husband of my boss. And then we discovered that we really like each other. So it's maybe worse than that. I might be falling in love with somebody that I definitely should not even be allowed to like. And who, if I keep it up with, will probably torpedo my career if or when it does get out. I like my job. I like my lover. I like my boss too, to be honest. Am I completely screwed, or is there a path I can't see from here?
Nope. That's so funny. We were talking about BET because did you hear Deborah Lee, who was the president of BET for the longest, after Bob Johnson, who founded BET, just put out she's putting out her memoir and she's doing the circuits, said that she got blackmailed to stay in a relationship with Bob Johnson because they had an affair. And he said, if you leave me, there goes your career. So blackballed her into staying at BET all these years because he was like, I'm going to fire you if not. That's crazy that this question came in because that's hitting the media right now. Girl, the dick ain't that good. Like, there's other dick in the sea. If you like your career, you need to stop this. Come on.
But
now.
then if you stop,
somebody's husband's spouse. Say it again.
But I said, but then if you stop, then are you screwed? Like, can they fire you after?
Probably.
I mean, ooh.
Probably. I mean, that's the choice you made. I mean, and here's the thing. This sounds like, I won't say age because it could be any age. I get sometimes there's the lure of this power dynamic that people like probably fall in love with more than even like the human being. There's something of you doing something that's wrong and they're your boss. So you kind of like that, I don't know.
The danger.
In some people's mind, that spice, right? That danger of it. But again, you ask again, will this completely torpedo my career when it gets out? Yeah, even if y'all madly in love, let people start figuring this shit out because, okay, maybe the boss will keep you there, but now the workers are like, oh, you only got that promotion because you're sleeping with him. You only did this because you sleeping with him, this and that. And so it changes the dynamic within your co-worker culture more than even the boss culture. So that's why I said the dick can't be that good. Like, there's a lot of good dick out there that ain't your boss.
But it's hard to find. That's why he's
proximity dick. So that was proximity. I guess it's proximity dick then.
Yes.
I guess I don't know.
If good dick was out there, he wouldn't have found I don't know if it was a he. They would have found dick at the holiday party. Okay. They would have had it. They would have brought it to the holiday party. They would have had it before, after, lined up after the holiday party. They'd have been like, "Look, the holiday party starts at 8:00. I got to be there for an hour and a half. I'll roll through around 10. T. You up? Type T."
Here's the thing, though. They said, "Am I completely screwed, or is there a path I can't see from here?" So it sounds like they already knew that it might not be the best thing that they've ever done and continue to do. Or you wouldn't ask the question, is there a path that I can't see from here? They know that they might be stepping on some broken glass here.
Mo, what do you think?
I mean, here you go. I have been there in my 20s with a married man. I have been there in my 20s with a married man. Actually, he wasn't married, but he had kids. But that was different. We didn't have video phones. We didn't have cell phones.
Oh, wait, hold on. It's the husband of the boss, not even the boss.
Yeah, it's the husband of the boss.
I just reread that. Hold on, then maybe that changed. Hold on. Okay, go ahead, Mo. I gotta rethink my answer.
Look, it's the husband of the boss. This is what I want to know. I have so many questions. Like, what took place that allowed you to feel a certain way? Like, did the boss's husband like put their hand in the small of your bag? What was it that allowed you to feel so bold to go, "Oh yeah, that's Sharon's husband. I don't care. I'm gonna get that." Like, what job do you have where it couldn't be anything like in finance, anything serious. It really can't be.
It was the creative team. It was the marketing team.
Look, it's something low level. They might be in HR somewhere low, but she's the call center manager, but not the I don't.
Honey, let the record show. Let somebody walk in there with a husband or a partner that looks fine to you, and there are a lot of people that will say, "I will risk it all to have that."
Risk it all.
That's fine. That's fine if you're willing to risk it. But what did the husband do for you to be like, you know what I mean? Like, did you bend over and he looked, or like you saw his bulge and you liked it and he winked? You know what I mean? Like, if they are, two males, were you in the stall? He shook it. You looked. He shook it again. Like, that's what happens in the 90s. But
right. In my mind.
Now they have the dividers. But in the 90s,
that
it was
is
just
true.
So
willy nilly.
I tell them to write back in and go, how did it start? That's what I want to know.
Inquiring minds need to know, how did y'all hook up?
Because depending on how it started, that let us know how you're going to finish. Like, were you working with your boss at the house, long hours, there's a rapport, or was this, you saw them at the office and, I'm getting, like, how? I want to know how. And then we can find out.
I like the line that said, "I had sex with the husband of my boss, and then we discovered that we actually really like each other." So you thought it was a one-night stand, maybe? Like, so I'm with Mo on this. Like, how did that start?
How? Are they British?
They're anonymous.
Okay, because this is what I heard. My friend who's American, who used to live in California, he works for some fashion company, moved to the UK, and then he said they have a holiday party. He says everybody gets fucked up, according allegedly to him. He says everybody gets fucked up. He said they get really, really, really drunk. He said the manager will be fucking this one over here. This person will be fucking this person. Hump, drunk debauchery. And then they wake up Monday morning like nothing happened and be like, "How's your work? Do you have the files ready?" Very that. Like, nothing.
Yeah.
So maybe it's one of those. I want to know how it started. Like, how did you get there? At what moment did you say, "Oh, I got it"? You know what I mean? Like, oh, you say he's coming at 4:00, girl. It's 3:30. I'm ready. Like, what?
That part. Ooh.
Dewan,
what's your advice?
In today's world where polyamory, particularly in the gay community with gay men, is more commonplace than not. I had to read this through the lens of, maybe this relationship is not as monogamous. And so therefore, if they have an arrangement that they can play around with whoever, then whatever their arrangement is, it's possible with a span of 2 degrees of separation between gay people, that you might
in the
end up
multiverse of Marvel is possible.
Right. And so it is possible. It's very well possible that, by happenstance, whether it's through Grindr, whether it's through whatever, these two people came together, they ended up hooking up and ended up catching feelings for each other. My advice would be just find another job. That would be my advice. Like, don't focus on like what the relationship is going to do at your current job. You got to find another job, because the reality of it is that while you might not have intended to shit where you eat, that's what you ended up doing. And so as much as you love the job that you're in, or, and your boss, you apparently love your boss or like your boss.
You like
apparently not enough to sleep with
their husband.
Apparently don't like them enough to sleep with them, though. I would say
like most people are like, oh girl, I like your shoes. We're like, no, I like your husband.
I would find another job, because there very well could be the beginnings of a fairy tale romance between you and the boss's husband that you slept with. And it could be a potential disaster movie between you and your boss when shit comes to light. So
fatal attraction.
You don't want to be anywhere. Right. You don't want to be anywhere where you are putting yourself at a significant disadvantage. And right now you're at a disadvantage by being the employee, the direct report of the person with whom you're having the person with whose husband you're having relations with. So protect your coins. Protect your coins. Find another job. You can get another job anywhere.
How soon would you say they need to find another job?
Now.
Like, should they put now? That's what I was saying. Now. Put the 2 weeks.
Get your bonus for the year. Get out of there.
No, don't even wait. Don't even wait. Because the thing of it is you don't know when shit's about to blow up. And you don't want to be collateral damage, even though you started the shit. You don't want to be having your career being collateral damage. Just because you out here being single and having fun, it's not your fault. See, it's the husband's fault. It's the husband's fault. So
it's kind of
I would say
she knew.
He knew, they knew. If you want to, if I were you, I would say cut my losses with the job. Find something tomorrow. And then whatever happens,
would you use them as a reference?
So would.
Or would you use the husband as a reference?
I would get that reference right quick.
I'm done.
No, that's some foul shit right there. That is some extra foul shit.
Damn.
Yeah, that's a good. We haven't had a juicy one like that in a minute. That was good. And community, continue to send your questions to aya@minorietyreport.com or DM us. That's why.
Oh my God.
So
Mo, question for you.
Go
ahead.
Well, I was just
going to say.
Oh, go ahead. You go. Go.
We might be thinking the same thing because we usually do.
No.
Ooh. I almost got to want to go with you because I was just saying you're in the world of just obviously a drag queen, and we see all of these states. Tennessee just passed it. What is like from being in that world? Couple questions. What is your recommendations for us that might not be in that world where it's not our living to aid those in that community from an LGBTQIA plus standpoint, and then for those that are allies or at least claim to be allies that be showing up at the drag brunches and kikiing and ain't said shit yet. That's a whole another thing. What is your recommendation for them to ensure that the culture continues on, but then really at the bare minimum, like it's the livelihood of so many people, and really they're attacking the trans community as well. I think it's almost a veil for them to throw trans people out there as well. So what is your recommendation from being in that world day to day?
The crazy thing is I felt like for a long time that this was going to happen, so I'm not surprised that it is. I would say the reality is that it really has nothing to do with children and protecting children. It is a bill, it is legislation to force queer and trans people back into the closet. They want to eradicate our existence from being. And so, though you may not be a drag queen, you are just queer. I would say you may not be a performer, but it affects you in the long run, because if they'll do this to the drag queen, what else will they do? Okay, so first they take the drag queen away, but then will they come for the safe space? And then after they come for the safe space, will they come for people in same gender loving relationships? Or we know how the rabbit hole tumbles, right? So I would say, so you as an outsider of the performance, it affects you just as much. So I would say you have to be just as vocal, just to be able to read between the lines and see that no, they're coming for everyone. Just like you said, they're coming for the trans community, because if you may be a trans individual, trans non-binary individual, and your presentation may not be that which you say, now you are in line to be arrested, you know? So it's just all of this BS. It's really, really disheartening, because you see how the hypocrisy, because and it's wrapped in Christianity, that you know the queer and trans community are the downfall of society, but yet because of the second amendment, you get to own a gun and then go into schools, churches, places of business, and just completely shoot them up, and won't say nothing. But the little sugary one that's trying to bring joy, oh, you say that we're corrupting your children, as if your child drove themselves to the drag show or to the library drag queen reading. That doesn't, okay? I would say for the allies who say they're allies, I don't even know if people really like know what it is to be an ally. I think people think it's an ally. Like, oh, I went to the drag show, and you know, we tip the drag queens because you come into the gay space. But the reality is that the reason that our establishments are patroned with straight people the majority of the time, because it's their escape, it's their place for them to let their hair down, where they're not around their. I mean, if we could just step back and just be honest, the pressure that white people are under, always trying to uphold white supremacy, and you know, and how things have to be. So they come into our spaces to woo, let loose, and woo, come shimmy on my husband, and oh, put it in my boob. Oh, you surely ain't gonna do that on Monday morning in front of your boss, but you want to come and woo, 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 woo. So I think they feel like there's a sense of allyship, but when it comes time to, you know, pass these bills and laws and regulation, it seems that they're quiet. I don't know if they're passing them or not, because generally what happens sometimes, you create a fishbowl of people that only think like you, sound like you. So the straight patrons that you are friends with or whatever, their stuff, how often does it come in your feed or come up? How often do you see it, share it, this, that, and the third? So I'm not friends with that many straight people, so I don't know. But if they are here, if they're listening, I would say you have to speak up, because they're not listening to us already. So if you can come and say, hey, I bring my daughter to this place. Because the other thing that this bill says is that they're taking the very right for cis parents, or for queer parents, any kind of parent, they're taking their right away of saying, you know how to raise your kid and what is good and acceptable before your child, right? So that means that you don't trust my ability to raise and govern my child. What else don't you trust me with? So on so many levels, it really does affect so many different people. So I would just say, fight with us. But then, I mean, I the big exhale was the thought of trying to survive and being one of the Black queens. Just, girl, you're working the shows, 6 shows a week, sometimes 3 shows on Saturday or Sunday or whatever, and you're just killing your body, destroying your skin, because makeup has mica and all of these other chemicals that are horrible for it. So you're literally just trying to survive, and now they're not only trying to erase your existence, but also at the same time trying to erase the way that you make money. It's just it is so sad to see that we are here. I mean, I think it's a beautiful fantasy that we want to live in, because we can celebrate how far we've come. But to see that they're doing it again, are we shocked? No, but to hear the rhetoric come back, that, you know, history repeats itself, it's very, very crazy.
on even just like a very simple level. Like when I first started hearing this stuff, I'm like, how unpractical is it for, like you said, you're working like 6 shows a night, and a lot of times you're walking out the show one bar to go to the next bar in your gowns and your makeup and everything. So now you want me to take off my makeup and my wigs, go to the next show, put it back on, perform, take it back off, go to my next show, put it back on because I can't go out in public because little Susie's walking down the street eating her ice cream or something like that. And
At
now
3
I
in the
might be
morning.
able to at 3 in.
That part.
Like it's wild to me. Like the bare minimum of it. I'm like, that is just so stupid.
The danger, like, this is the other thing. I generally don't travel in drag, but if I'm in drag, I am taking like an Uber Black XL. But
quick stunt.
It's a quick stunt, but I do it because generally, in my opinion, those big SUVs ain't gonna fuck up their money. You know what I mean? Like they're really not. They're really trying to get you there and get you to the next or get you to your destination because they want to make money. But my friends who are local girls say that they get into cabs here in LA, Ubers here, and they have been harassed and hassled. So then you think about the people that are using Uber trying to get from the gig or from one gig to the next gig. You know, you might have taken your makeup off, but glitter is like the STD of the arts and crafts world. Like,
it don't go nowhere.
Going away.
They said diamonds are forever. Know how glitter is.
That part. You know, or now the eyeliner is smudged, or all of these things. Like, it's just, it's just crazy. I don't know. It's just not real life. Because here you go.
Are you seeing this elsewhere outside the U.S.? Like, because like you travel the world, are you seeing this same rhetoric now go across the world? Because the U.S. has a stupid ass way of just making the whole world be stupid too.
Very, very true. I have not traveled the tail of 2020 and the beginning of 2023, but I do know that it's not like the last place I went where it was like not safe was Tel Aviv to be queer, you know?
Yeah.
And that's just a part of the culture. So I can only imagine, I can say, like, because of social media, I can see that I believe it's Kenya, Ghana, Uganda, and a few other places that are like America is saying that they'll withhold aid and financials and this, that, and the third if they do not help or pass a bill in favor of queer and trans people. So, I mean, that's happening there. I mean, that's making news and making records. So I can only imagine if more states and, you know, what America says goes for the rest of the world. So, exactly. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Well, community,
we just got to keep fighting.
Keep fighting, literally.
I think the other point of all of this is that although this has roots in, you know, certainly like white supremacy and kind of like Christianity or supposedly Christianity and whatnot, the reality of it is that the reason that these laws are being passed and that they're even being presented is not because it's some like moral high ground. It's just because the Republican Party is finding any way possible to further divide and conquer the people, to divide the people so that they can get a greater sense of the vote. So if you can find a hot button issue that people are divided on, like this, like trans people using quote unquote women's bathrooms and, you know, like gay marriage, like these perceived fringe issues, it further emboldens and solidifies their base, which is really all they really care about. They don't give a shit about, you know, obviously they don't give a shit about these kids because clearly they haven't done anything to really make, you know, the kids' lives better, except, you know, pushing forth these bills that are under the guise of protecting children when it has absolutely nothing to do with children whatsoever. So, you know, it's just like, at the end of the day, recognize bullshit for exactly what it is. And I say, you know, like, you know, our federal government needs to step their pussy up with regard to these issues because they have been, I don't want to say radio silent, but they've been kind of like whispers as it relates to, talking about this, not overtly, not, we need to be withholding aid to the states that are pushing these forward. So if you're going to push these agendas forward, then we're going to put sanctions on your states. We're going to divert the funds that we ordinarily would have been shifting to you to others, but we're not doing that. So I have an issue there. I have an issue with also like the major businesses that are in these states. So like, for example, if you've got like, I think there was a news article that came out just this past week that in Florida, DeSantis had rolled back a tax protection clause that significantly benefited Disney, because Disney came out in opposition of da-da-da-da-da. So now this year, Disney has to pay a $700 million tax bill to the state of Florida because they rolled that back as retaliation. Where's the action? What are y'all doing, Disney? Like, what are the businesses doing to say, hey, we're not going to bring our companies here. We're going to bring people back to work here. We're not going to continue to invest in here. We're going to move our organization. Like, when I think about allyship, I think about the money. Because it's one thing to talk about like social allyship and like, I stand with you and I'll go to the picket lines or whatever. But it's a whole other thing when you hit back with the money and the
your
jobs.
Pocketbook is hurting.
Exactly. So, like cut the Delta, American and United, because Spirit ain't gonna be on part of this. They gonna go with it. But like the major airlines, cut the number of tickets that are going to them states. Make it hurt. Make it. If you're gonna put legislation forward, then we need to have. If you're gonna be an ally and you want to demonstrate your allyship, make it hurt for these states and these provinces that are putting together legislation that hurts our total community, not just part of the community. Because any one person in the community that you're disenfranchising, you're disenfranchising
about to fight for the whole
community.
That part.
Period.
Whew. I ain't getting no another damn. I ain't writing no other letter. I ain't getting on no damn picket line. I'm not doing none of that shit. I'm just putting it out there. I'm not doing it. Don't look for me to do that shit. Because if this goes the way that it goes, I'm moving to Paris. I'm out. I'm out.
Well, then you know what? We won't end the episode on a downer note. I have a question for you, Mo.
Real quick though, because I just wanted to give a shout out to the Eagle NYC because I went there this past weekend.
Oh, you got down in the bathroom?
No,
I heard they done changed that first floor to a whole dance floor now.
Let me just say,
which floor were you on? That's the question.
I was on the third floor. I was on the third floor.
Is that the dark room?
No, second floor is the dark room.
You know where
third floor is.
I know what I know what it is. I know what it is. I stayed on the third floor.
Was it like
I was on the
was it like in Chicago?
At
Seymour? Is that you?
I will not dignify that with an answer, but what I will say is kudos to the Eagle because the music was popping, the drinks were flowing, the lines ran smoothly. And I have to admit, this is my first time coming back to the Eagle in probably 10 years. Like in New York.
You go with us on World Pride?
No, I didn't go that time.
Because you didn't.
No, I went to an event. I went to an event. Y'all went to the Eagle.
That's right.
Yeah, another dark room party.
With they shit in the middle of the flow.
I don't see that part. So that gets me to why I wanted to compliment them because I fully expected from the moment that I walked in the doors that it was going to smell like feet, ass, and shit. I literally thought and I was just like, oh, I don't want to be here for all this time. But
wait, who talked you into going?
Well, it was my friend Emilio and my other friend Todd. So, and it was Emilio's birthday. So we went from a birthday party and it was turning his birthday and he wanted to go out dancing. So we ended up going out. We went to the Eagle and I was just like, oh my gosh, please don't let it smell like feet and ass and shit. Please don't let, cause it just turns me off. And then we got in there and it was like regular schmegular. And then even we got up to the third floor. With all the people like dancing and sweating and stuff, it smelled great. The music was great. The vibe was great. Everything was great. So shout out to the Eagle for putting on a great night. Definitely will be back more.
My friend Winston he's from New York. He lives in Philly now, but he just went 2 weekends ago and he said the same thing. He's like, the Eagle's like the spot.
It
now.
is the spot.
He's like, it's always been like the spot, but like he's like, it's like the spot now.
Yeah, because like what in New York used to have tons of like dance clubs, like tons. Like, you know, you had your pre-bars and like your regular lounges and da. You had the G Lounge and you had the, you know, Splash and da. But and you had, you know, some stuff that's in like the Hell's Kitchen area, you know, like Therapy used to be back in the day, and you know, everything before the pandemic. But since the pandemic, all the dancing and whatnot, just if you just want to go out and dance, just have fun and dance and shake your tits for Jesus and all that shit, you got to go out to Brooklyn. You got to, I mean, there's a couple of little places here. There's like Q Bar and, you know, like Monster still, the basement still gets hot and at the Monster.
No,
you know, but
Brooklyn.
But Eagle,
okay.
Yeah.
I'm coming up one of these weekends and we going to the Eagle, boo.
Let's do it.
Well, tell me, I want to go.
Okay. All right, boo.
Absolutely.
We got you. I got your
all right, so before we get out of here, we want Mo to build her drag queen Voltron. But I'm going to put some stipulations on you. It can't be yourself. So I'll give you the breakdown in a second. It can't be yourself. Mm-hmm. It can't be Rue. And that can't be part of like your lineage, because we know you got some daughters and things like that. So we don't want nobody's feelings broken and be like, Ma, you ain't said me. No, you're not in this conversation. So outside of those three factors, we want to build your Voltron. So we need someone that you think has...
Explain to her and for the children that are listening what Voltron is.
Yep. So Voltron, well, if you know, Voltron is kind of like the best of like, I think like the Transformers and things like that. So you got to put together like the head and the arms and the legs and the body.
The Voltron is the precursor to the Power Rangers. That's what it is. Yeah. It is. No, it is. There's a whole lineage of
I didn't even know
those characters that build together to create a Megazord,
a bigger,
is what they
was Voltron was out when you were like a kid before Power Rangers?
He had the little figurines.
I don't know. He said it was
the little dolls.
I had him. Yeah. Yeah, I did.
He said, put some respect on Voltron's name.
Just, you know.
He said, more Power Rangers, hope. So we need someone. So we're going to build a drag queen, and it's going to have, you're going to pick the one that you just think is eaten in life to build the ultimate drag queen. So the first up is makeup skills. Who do you want your ultimate drag queen and their makeup skills?
Next to me?
Yes, to you. It's your ultimate drag queen.
Okay, out of the Black girls that are that have makeup, I'm gonna say Shea Coulee.
Okay. Ooh, I love me some Shea.
I thought you were gonna.
Okay.
Okay, never mind.
Who do you think she was gonna say? Oh,
Raven.
Okay,
the other person I was gonna say. Raven was the other person I was gonna say, but that's because I feel like she can do. Let me just say Raven. I just feel like Raven. I've seen Raven do more things as far as makeup, so I'm just gonna say Raven.
Okay. Stage presence. Like every time they came up, they just eat. You're just like, damn, bitch, your presence out here just everything.
Sasha Colby.
Ooh. Humor.
Ooh, that's difficult. Because like Trixie is like white girl humor, like Saturday Night Live type tea. Bob is like black version of Trixie, David Chappelle type tea.
That's a true correlation. I like that correlation.
Bianca is great, but she's more of like a stand-up special, not like, weekly. She's not, warm and fuzzy.
Yes.
I'm gonna go with I'm gonna say Trixie only because I know that she has more money.
So that makes her funnier, huh? Okay.
That makes her funnier, right?
I'm just thinking, who can, like, if I'm building the Voltron, can my comedy make me the most money? You know what I mean? That's what I'm thinking about.
Uh-huh.
Right.
Okay,
Well, there's going to be another part of this Voltron that maybe change your humor statement.
Okay.
Styling. Like, who is just their style, their outfits, just everything. You just like, ooh, you just got a swag, a vibe.
Ooh, the best fashion. That's like turning looks and stunting pretty. I'm the girl from New York City.
Yes.
I'm probably gonna say, oh, this is so sad. I feel like my Voltron is just white girls, but I just feel like they've just had more exposure. That's all it is. They just had more exposure. Yeah. So I'm gonna say, I don't like some of her stuff though. Style, like, bitch, they can put anything on and all, like, everything they put on, they look cunt in.
Yes. On or whatever they make, whatever it may be, whatever styling means to you too. So it could mean something different to somebody else.
I'm gonna say either Aquaria or Shea Coulee. I was gonna say Jada, but I'm gonna say Shea Coulee or Aquaria. Give me half. Okay. I just take an arm from each one.
Right. Left arm, right arm. Okay. And then the last one I have is business acumen, like the business sense. Who's gonna make the most coin just because they just get it?
Oh.
Now she rethinking that humor one.
Right. Okay.
I told you.
Business. Okay, now the ones that I know that are paid outside of myself are Trixie, Shangela, Alyssa, Bob, Manila. So out of those, Manila has been in the game the longest and still pays. She just has her own Dragged In series.
Mm-hmm.
Bob is college educated, always knows how to find someone to pay a bill.
Touring with Madonna right now.
Okay. See, somebody's paying the bill. Shangela has her hands in multiple things. She owns like part of the gay film awards, so she has multiple streams. Alyssa is on Netflix, the Dance Academy, and tours. I'm gonna say Trixie for business.
Okay, and then who you want to keep her for humor?
Bob. Here you go. Here you go. Like, my comedy isn't Saturday Night Live. Like, my comedy would be something like a combination of like Earthquake, Kevin Hart, Cat Williams, Lavelle Crawford, and some more Monique. Okay. You know, so like, who is somebody that those comedians that come to mind? That's funny.
Jujubee is funny.
Juju. I love long.
Okay.
Fried chicken.
Okay, so Mug would be Raven, because I feel like I would have the most versatility, be able to do like, Super Saiyan Sun makeup, okay, so that's Mug. You said stage presence.
Mm-hmm.
Like when the bitch presence. Alyssa and like Sasha Colby, but Sasha Colby can like stand there and make her lip quiver, and I lose my head. So Sasha Colby, humor, Jujubee is like mental. So Juju, and then styling, we're gonna go with.
You said Aquaria
I'm gonna say Shea Coulee. This is why, right? Because Aquaria is fashion, this, that, and the third. She's in these magazines. But if we're telling the truth, all fashion comes from blackness. So, and they steal it and they just have the money. So I'm going to say styling, from Shea Coulee, and then Money, Business Savvy. I'm going to say Trixie.
There we go. That is Mo's.
That is a winner right there.
Voltron. That is a winner. That's a nice.
Yeah.
In community, like whenever we have drag artists, we'll have them on. And honestly, we might just even do this as a series for everybody because we're supporting drag culture. We need to show that this needs to stay. Y'all ain't gonna like drag us out to jail for some bullshit. So we're gonna be repping drag for the rest of our lives. We already were, but we're making it visible,
official,
and seen
officially.
Officially. Mo, you know how much we love you, so you know you're welcome whenever you want. But to say it publicly again, we adore you. We always root for you. Keep it up because seeing you push the envelope is allowing us to push the envelope, is allowing other people that you don't even know exist. You know, like, oh, Mo's doing it, I could do the damn thing. So those days where you're feeling low, feeling down, because it happens to all of us, just know you have people rooting for you, praying for you, all the above. So
yeah, I received that. Thank you.
Absolutely.
I love you all.
Dewan, anything else on your heart and mind, boo?
I'm gonna wait for that time when we can just get to be in person so we can just cut all this bullshit.
Meet me on the second floor on the Eagle.
That part.
There we go.
I know that's right. In community, wash your hands, your legs, and your ass, and we'll see you next week.